What in the love and hip hop is going on? Remy Ma was being considered for the Real Housewives of New York, and Olivia, formerly of Love and Hip Hop, is being considered for the Real Housewives of Dubai. Andy, you have some explaining to do. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So yesterday, I didn't even do a video on this because it was nothing news to me. And it only became news when this Remy Ma story came out. And I was like, what is this trend of love and hip hop that's happening with the Real Housewives? Because as you know, Andy said this show, this franchise is not love and hip hop in reference to the fighting that was happening on the show. So now there's another story about Olivia. You may remember her. She was on OG on Love and Hip Hop New York. And she's a very talented singer, the first artist signed to J Records by Clive Davis. Very talented. No one's going to take that away from Olivia. However, in an interview, she revealed that her team is having conversations with the Real Housewives of Dubai casting.
Rumors, the Real Housewives of Dubai reached out to you.
So they actually reached out to my team, and they're like going back and forth.
Okay.
So I don't really get involved until they're like, okay, now it's time to bring you in or whatever. But I hear they're doing good, so I just let them.
But there has been contact.
Yes.
And, okay.
Yes,
but nothing approved so far.
Yes.
Also, you working with the iconic Caesar's Palace in Dubai.
Yes.
Yes, they are currently casting. They would like to add some more additional housewives to the Real Housewives of Dubai, according to my sources. However, producers, don't get this wrong. You already got it wrong for last season, okay? And when I say you got it wrong, for the love of Caroline Stanbury, Nina Ali, who I'm easing up to Nina, and Sarah Al-Madani. You can't get this wrong, but you're already getting it wrong if you're having conversations with Olivia. And I know what you guys are thinking. Does she even live in Dubai? Well, no confirmation on that, but apparently she's working with Caesar's Palace in Dubai. And look, we know a lot of artists fly to Dubai for different concerts and shows and things like that. Okay, but does she have authentic roots in Dubai? No confirmation on that either. But regardless, it wouldn't be the first time that producers have flown a housewife into a city to be a part of the city. But here's the thing, I don't care if she doesn't know these ladies. I don't care if she doesn't have roots in Dubai. What I care about is that Olivia did not bring a lot to Love and Hip Hop New York. And if she did, she brought the Cynthia energy, meaning that she was a balance. She brought the music to Love and Hip Hop. However, she's not going to add anything to this cast. But I also believe, and I've told you this before, let's break the fourth wall. Some of these people that want to be on the show put it out there so that people can talk about it, so that people can show interest. But this didn't work out well for Olivia. Chanel Ion chimed in the comment section, and then Caroline Brooks chimed in saying this, really, Olivia? Who in our circle of friends on Dubai even knows you? Is this a prank or is it clout? Rubbish. Hashtag RHODubai. I mean, I get it. But like I said before, it wouldn't be the first time that they've just brought someone into the show. And I wouldn't be surprised if they used Brooks to bring her in. Okay, they used Brooks to bring Phaedra in. Yes, we know she knew Phaedra before. However, Phaedra does not live in Dubai. And we know the producers wanted to have Phaedra on the show because she's a familiar face on this new city. Sidebar. I said this on Twitter the other day when I saw the ratings for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is their third season, and they weren't bad ratings. However, all of you were dragging Dubai for their ratings, and this was a new city, and they were on par for their first season with Salt Lake City. Just saying. But as I said before, Dubai is currently casting. So I'm looking for some new housewives. I'm looking for interesting housewives. Again, producers, please, if you're watching this, we don't care about a name. What we care about is a big personality that meshes well with this group. And I know what you're all thinking. Well, some of these people in this group need to go. I agree, but they're not going to do that. If anything, they might get rid of one person. But word on the street, they're not getting rid of anyone. All the ladies are coming back. So if anything, they're casting for additions. Anyways, I know some of you are thinking, is Olivia even in their tax bracket? Well, you're assuming people's tax bracket. But since we're talking about love and hip hop, this is the only reason why I'm even covering the Olivia portion of the story, was because TMZ is reporting that Remy Ma was being considered for the Real Housewives of New York reboot. So as I told you before, the Real Housewives of New York reboot, word on the street, is in shambles. Oh, they're saying it's a mess. They're very concerned. They're very, very, very concerned. Apparently, allegedly, 3 people dropped out. Well, according to TMZ, Remy Ma, the rapper, also she was on Love and Hip Hop, was being considered until they found out she lived in New Jersey. We'll get to that in a second. So this is what TMZ is reporting. TMZ reports this. They said Remy Ma was in early talks to become the first rapper turned Real Housewife, but she ran into a major problem because, as any realtor would tell her, it's about location, location, location. Sources familiar with the situation tell TMZ the RHONY alum, Ebony K. Williams, brought up Remy's name to casting several months ago for the Bravo reality series, suggesting Remy would be a great addition to the show. We're told the casting team had a virtual chat with Remy and the conversation went really well, but it hit a huge roadblock when they found out that the Bronx-born MC now lives in New Jersey full-time. Our sources say the rapper used to have an apartment in Midtown Manhattan, but she doesn't anymore. At the time she was recommended to casting, it was still believed she had ties to New York City. I mean, okay, before we even get into the rest of this, if you're from New York, New Jersey's a hop, skip, and a jump, and some of you that live in New Jersey still consider yourself a part of the tri-state area. And you would be. But here's the thing with Remy. She is from New York. It wouldn't be the first time when we were talking about Olivia, she could get an apartment in the city and no one would even say anything about it. They'd be like, well, she's from New York. Yep, maybe she has an apartment in the city. We wouldn't have thought anything about it. Again, I feel as if this is someone putting this out there to get people talking. TMZ continues, it says, while Bravo series is historically loose about the cast's wife status, they're pretty strict when it comes to geography. Lies. 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 The lies. That's not true. Look at Potomac. The majority of the cast, if any of the cast right now, only person that lives in Potomac right now, according to what I recall, is Karen and Mia. And at one point, Karen lived outside of Potomac too. So they're not. So you could tell when people are not reality TV connoisseurs or Real Housewife connoisseurs like all of us. We know geography is not that important because some of you already say in the comment section, half the ladies, if not the majority of the ladies, don't even live in Atlanta. All right, I'm getting very emphatic on this Saturday morning. According to TMZ, because of this strict rule on geography, all convos with Remy Ma about the Real Housewives of New York City ended. According to TMZ, though, they said that there were told well-known newscaster Tamza Fadal from the CW affiliate PIX11 was also being considered, but ultimately that didn't work out either. Bravo hasn't officially announced the new cast for season 14. A lot of people expect that they will at BravoCon in a couple of weeks. Stay tuned. Here's the thing about Remy Ma. If this was true, I don't think it was geography that made them decide not to do it. If anything, this was Remy's Ma people putting it out there like that. No, it's the same issue that we had with Remy Ma on Love and Hip Hop New York. She didn't bring a lot. Let's be real. If anything, she put the nail in the coffin for Love and Hip Hop New York. Where is it? Where is it? Remy is a fantastic rapper, but she was horrible reality TV. Let's be honest. And she would have been a horrible mix on the Real Housewives of New York. Yes, she is New York and she is from New York. I don't think it had anything to do with geography. I think at the end of the day, this is, again, Olivia putting this information out there, Remy Ma putting this information out there to get people talking. And here we are talking, and we're letting you guys know we don't want Olivia, and we didn't want Remy Ma either. Guys, as always, I'm going to say this. We don't care about the name. What we care about is the personality. Do what you did with Real Housewives originally. Find big personalities. And if you can't find them anymore, end the show and come up with something else, like everyone has been asking for. Real Girlfriends of New York, or something else, Just saying. It's okay to create something else. But again, they're making money still from the Real Housewives franchise. No matter how you all said you're over it, millions of people still watch this franchise. So Bravo and NBC Universal and Andy Cohen are still making a coin off of this franchise. So they're trying to squeeze every last bit of it out while they make their coins off of all of us. Guys, I want to know your reaction to this. Do you want to see? Maybe you can convince me. Some of you guys are really good at convincing me. Kempire, think about this. Olivia could do this, and this. She could replace this one. Remy Ma would have been great because of this, and this. Or you'll tell me, no, Kempire, we agree with you. That would have been a big... They missed the bullet with that one. Guys, let's have this conversation below. And as always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.